Hello and welcome to the White Tiger Kenpo Jiu-Jitsu video series. This particular video we're going to cover darkroom staff, which is a shorter staff compared to the skylight staff in the upper belt. It should be about eyebrow height, maybe a little higher, no more than that. You're going to start with section 1. This will start from a neutral stance. There is no formal salutation with this. You start from your neutral stance, bow in the right hand. From here, you will step forward right to 12 o'clock as your left hand grabs down about 2.5 fists up from the bottom, and you will strike. Try to imagine that you're like striking down on someone's head or striking their bow themselves. Then you're going to come in and hook as you clear and step and strike again. So, section 1, start from your neutral stance. Grab the staff about 2 fists up from the bottom as you step right to 12 o'clock. Your right hand's going to roll over as you slide down as far as you can. Hook the staff as you're hooking like another bow. Step in and strike again. One last time. So the opening section is 1, 2. Practice that for a while, then go on to section 2. Section 2 of darkroom staff. Now remember from the last section, we struck, then struck to 12 o'clock. So we ended up here, the left foot forward, right hand in the lead. We're going to step left to the 9 o'clock position as the bow rolls over the shoulder and you strike down. So from this position, you're going to step right over the shoulder, have a nice roll, and strike down so that it comes up right underneath your arm, like so. So one more time, from the last position, you just struck. It's going to come over and strike. Now from here, you're going to take your right hand and you want the bow, and about 1/3, a little more, the inside here shouldn't be any more than the length of your elbow to your wrist. So you're from this position. You're going to spin to this side, come over, and strike. Then you're going to step back to neutral. Spin, come around, spin again, and as you step to 6, then come over the shoulder and strike. So one last time, we'll go through that whole section up to that point. Strike to 12, strike, step right, or left I mean, strike down. One full spin and strike. Come to neutral, 2 full spins. After the final spin, you're going to step out left to 6 and strike, stopping there. Now practice those first 2 sections and then go on to section 3. Now that you practice section 1 of 2 of darkroom staff, we're going to go to section 3, which is to your 6 o'clock position. So section 1 is 12, section 2 is 9, and section 3 will be 6. So we just finished off with our right foot stepping to 6 o'clock and striking down to the 6 o'clock position. We're going to do what they call a walking step. I'll do it from this angle so you can kind of see what I'm going to be doing. What you're going to do is you're going to step and strike. Then from there you're going to do a half a spin on one side and a half a spin on the other side as you do 2 complete steps. So again, we get back a little farther here. You've just done your strike. So facing the 6 o'clock position, you're going to do a half a spin with a step, a half a spin with a step. As your right foot steps to 6, you're going to strike down with the final strike. One last time and I'll show you what it would look like in the kata. Here, step, step, strike. Now, going backwards is the same thing. Step, step, with a minor adjustment step at the end. So you're going to walk forward and walk back and then adjust. So, we've just done the strike here. So we're going to walk, walk, strike, walk, walk. Now from here, as I said, you're going to step right to 9 out of 3 o'clock and strike down to conclude section 3. So again, from last section 2, we were here. Spin, spin, strike, spin, spin, adjust to 9 with your right and strike, and that'll end section 3 of darkroom staff. Practice that, and then go on to your fourth and final section. The fourth and final section of darkroom staff will be to 9 and 12 o'clock. If you remember from the last section, we ended with the right foot forward, striking down. So immediately following this strike down, you're going to spear or poke the bow into your opponent. So you're going to strike and drive. This will hook the bow. As you do it to the left, the exact same thing. Then you're going to step with your left foot to 12, sweep the bottom, come up high and do 3 circles. On the third circle, heel palm it or grab it with your hand, follow up, strike, back to your salutation stance. Again, came from section 3, strike down, and then spear. From there you're going to hook, strike, spear, step, clear, 3 circles, grab it with your palm, slide up, uppercut to the groin, and salutation. That concludes darkroom staff.
In this kata, we're going to go over what we call skylight staff. As I explained in darkroom staff, the skylight staff is at least a 6-foot bow or staff. I'll go through it, and then I'll full speed, and then I'll come back through with your explanation. On the salutation, there really isn't any type of a salutation. You start with the stick in the left hand and out. Okay, the opening of skylight staff. Like I said in the first part of this, there really is no salutation. You start with the stick in the left hand, just laying out. Right hand comes up in what we call a push block position with 2 fingers. From this point, you're going to step in with your right foot, grab the bow as you do a spear strike. From here, you're going to hook, just like you're hooking the bow, back to the right shoulder as hard as you can. Step out and strike. Spear, back, strike, in, back, strike. You should have 3 of those. Step back into neutral stance, spear again, step in, and strike. From here, just go 230 and strike, right shoulder, strike into 1030, and we'll stop there for section 1. Again, go through it one more time. Starting with your salutation, spear, hook, strike, spear, hook. On the hook, pull it back to the shoulder as quick and hard as you can. Step in. For the third one, same thing. Step back to neutral stance, spear, step in and strike. 230, spear, hook, strike, bring to the right shoulder, and strike to 1030. That ends section 1 of skylight staff. Section 2. We left off striking to 1030. From here, you're going to sweep the bow down as the right leg comes up and strike. Back and strike. From here, you're going to dance your back with your right foot as this bow sweeps. And then as you sweep it, you're going to come over the head, striking to 430, swing around, striking back to 1030, sweep back up, and strike. Again, section 2. We've just left off from here. Knee sweeps up with the bow, spear in, clear, strike down, sweep pass as you dance your back, overhead strike to 430, overhead strike back to 1030, sweep up, in, and back. That's section 2 of Skylight Staff. Section 3. From the last position, we were at 230 and we just did a spear strike. From here, the right foot shifts to the 12 o'clock position. The staff or bow sweeps around and over the right shoulder and strikes to 12. From here, bring the bow all the way to the right shoulder, pivot to hard bow as you strike to 730. Sweep the bow and the leg up, spear strike, hook and down. Comes over the right shoulder just like we did before, strikes down twice. This is the only time we'll do that. Then over the right shoulder, swing over the head, and swing back to 1030, or to 430. Again, section 3, leaving off. We just did the up and down, shift to right, to 12 over the shoulder and strike. Bow comes to the right shoulder as we pivot to a hard bow, striking this bow at 730. Sweep the bow up as well as the knee, spear strike, hook, strike down, over the right shoulder, strike, strike. Spin the bow over the head, and over the head again till you end up in the 430 position. That ends section 3 of Skylight Staff. Okay, section 4. From this position, we just come through here, we just struck over the head, and then we struck over the head. We're going to sweep the leg up as well as the bow, strike in, hook, and down. From here we do a small circle, big circle as the leg comes up, and strike down, or spear out. Again, from section 3, we're here. You sweep up and spear. Small tight circle, big circle using the hip and the leg to come up and spear in. That is section 4 of Skylight Staff. Section 5. From the last position, we have just done 2 circles and a spear strike. We are going to bring the right foot to 3 o'clock, bow comes over the head and strikes in, spear, and from there we're going to step back with the right foot to neutral stance as we do 4 spins, just like we did in darkroom staff. On the 4th spin, as it comes to the right side, we're going to swing it over the head, step right to 6 o'clock, bring it over the head, and pivot to face 12 o'clock. Again, section 5. Left off from 4, we did the small circle, big circle, spear. Right foot to the 3 o'clock position, overhead strike, and spear. Step back right, 4 spins. On the 4th spin on the right side, as it's coming out of it, we're going to swing the bow over the head as we step right to 6. Then we're going to pivot, so we swing the bow and strike to 12. That concludes section 5 of Skylight Staff. Section 6 and the conclusion of Skylight Staff. We have just swung the bow over the head to 6 and then back to 12. We're going to reach down the middle of the bow and do our walking step and strike. From here, hook up, strike back, step back with the right foot to neutral stance, and go into your beginning salutation. Again, we just did the overhead strike to 6, and then to 12. Reach down the middle of the bow, do your walking spin as we did in darkroom staff, hook up and down, step back as you drop the bow, and go into your beginning salutation staff. That concludes skylight staff, your requirement for first round.
Stay off my back, or I will attack, and you don't want that.